Now, but basically, for anyone who's actually not familiar with you and your story, give us a little bit about yourself. We, audience out here, or even me, want to know, who's DC?
Yeah, who's DC? First of all, it's not my real name, obviously.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
But I prefer that name, and I'll tell you why.
Wow.
So for those of you that don't know, David Cordtz, that's my real name. And I'm from South Auckland. I'm from Otara. And I'm part Samoan. And that name DC actually came from when I first started doing fitness, like full on, back in the day, 2010. And I used to wear a DC cap. And everyone clicked, the initial, the first name and stuff like that. But yeah, that's my name. David Clyde Cordtz is my full name. And I'm part German, Samoan, Chinese, Fijian.
Oh, good mix.
Yeah, so that's me. Snotty-nosed kid from Otara. Represents Southside. Yep. Proud.
What got you into like your fitness journey? What was the main key aspect of it?
Okay, so
it's a broad question. It's a really broad question.
Loaded question.
Yeah.
Are you talking about like later on when I was an adult or when I was a kid or
when you first so the first pinnacle moment where fitness came to you in terms of what made you want to start pursuing fitness as a whole identity?
I guess if we go back to as a little kid, I was always quite active, right? I mean, I was trying to be that ninja in Otara. I was into gymnastics as a young kid.
Oh, wow.
Rugby, obviously, martial arts. And then obviously started to get into rugby league later on down the track. But obviously, when I got married in 2000 and I had 4 beautiful children, 10 years of working for Sky Television and long hours, and I wasn't looking after myself, right? And I got very unhealthy, very overweight, and was getting sick a lot. And it was actually my brother, my older brother, that said to me, bro, you've always had fitness in you, you've always been active, and just watching you over the last 10 years is a bit concerned, And as a coach and as a trainer, as an athlete, he was like, bro, come along. So I went along 2010. I remember it like it was yesterday, bro. I think it was like Strength HQ or NetFit or something like that, where Liti, when I first met David Liti, he was training there. And I got killed, man. I nearly passed out lifting tires and throwing tires and doing all the strength conditioning, S&C stuff. And I hadn't slept much the night before. I hadn't eaten, and I was trying to go off the energy drinks and stuff like that. And I nearly passed out. And then my brother was just standing over me, laughing at me. And that kind of made me go, oh, yeah, okay. I'm coming for you, bro. And so I think a few days later, I went to Ludus Magnus. Shout out to Ludus Magnus, Joe Nufahu and the crew. And that was it, bro. I kind of got into the culture of training, kettlebell stuff, body weight stuff, crawls, gorilla crawls, bear crawls, and this crazy training, bro, intense training. And I got a bug, bro. I got a liking. I was like, man, this is a hype. And we were training, honestly, we were training alongside All Blacks, Warriors, you name it. The best of the best athletes in New Zealand. So that was bro, I'm meeting all these athletes. I'm meeting Ma'a and all these stuff, right?
The greats.
The greats. Sevens players. And I was just like, this is cool, I used to watch them, and now I'm training with them.
Wow.
And then that kind of put the fire in me to okay, I'm going to beat my brother one day. And we can get into that.
Yeah. Do you feel like that rivalry within family, it also is a great motivator?
Oh, bro. I always wanted to beat my brother, right?
Yeah.
And it's, man, let's just say, he can still beat me in a few things, right? Obviously. But I guess when I got to my best, he was like, what? Wow. He went from 10 years of doing nothing to being the vegan king. Because he was the cover king.
Oh, yeah.
And he's now the vegan king is no one can beat him. He's finishing the classes before everyone. This is crazy. He's finishing my sets. He'll throw me all the weapons and I'm done. It's what? You finished? So yeah. But that kind of came 4 years later, the vegan thing. Yeah.
Was he also like, with your nutrition habits, knowledge, also insights as well, was he like a big part of instilling that when you first started? Or
Absolutely, man. I remember
nice.
that like it was yesterday. I remember he was doing like the Wolverine diet back then,
Oh,
the Hugh Jackman Wolverine diet. My brother was doing it, and I was like, yo,
yeah.
it was kind of like that low carb kind of thing, high protein diet.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, yeah, this is it, the meat and the low carb and so many meals a day and the, subs and and I thought it was it, man. I'll be honest with you. I didn't get the results that I did like I have now, doing what I'm doing now.
Well, what was like the difference, like in terms of like, just on don't have to explain too in depth,
Sure.
We'll get back into that quite later on. But like in terms of like certain types of diets, because of course they have different diets. Different diets have different results.
Sure.
But in terms of like how you feel, like how you mentioned that you didn't have that, like it didn't work for you, and then what you're on now like works for you a lot better. What was like a key detail out of the two that you've experienced that kind of made it justifiable in terms of be like, okay, yeah, this is why this wasn't happening?
Correct. So, I mean, you think about like meat, dairy, and eggs, right? There's saturated fat and cholesterol in all three of them, right? Whereas a plant-based diet, a whole food plant-based diet with no oils, right? Straight from the ground, straight from the tree, right? Zero cholesterol, zero saturated fat. So you can imagine my recovery, bro. Burpees, crawls, just recovering like crazy, bro, right?
Whoa.
And from a digestive point of view, everyone knows that everything is energy, right? So when you're consuming a high animal product, let's say like an animal-based diet, all that digestive energy that is used, that takes away from your workout, right? So when I eat like a diet that's high in, say, carbohydrate, which is your primary source of energy, if you're a keto person, like all the best to you. Like no disrespect, but when you're on a high carb, low fat diet, your energy's through the roof, and you will get crazy endurance and recovery, and even from a body recomposition point of view too. Whoa. Crazy results, right? But we all know that every diet works to a degree. Now, what I mean is everyone can get shredded, everyone can maintain their body weight, anyone can bulk. But from a health perspective, is it reversing diabetes? Is it reversing heart disease? Is it reversing eczema, asthma? That's the difference.
Wow.
And that's what I did. And I do it with my clients.
So that's like bringing like a whole key training with nutrition just to create that benefit and value within other people's lives as well.
It's holistic, bro.
Wow.
Like it's going further than just having a six pack. It's like, oh yeah, I know people that have six packs and they die of heart attack, right? Why? Because it's the food. Because, on the outside they look great. Their body fat's low, but their visceral fat's high. And the visceral fat's high, that means you're going to have problems with high blood pressure. So now I'm like, I took my blood pressure within 4 weeks from 10 to 4 in 4 weeks. My visceral fat, my blood pressure, my blood levels.
Yeah.
From just changing my plate.
Wow. So is it the higher the percentage, the more healthier? Sorry?
Are you talking about visceral fat? Or?
Yeah.
No, visceral fat, the higher the worse.
The higher the worse. Okay, sorry.
You want a low visceral fat. So visceral fat is the fat around your internal organs, right?
Oh, okay.
Body fat is the subcutaneous fat around, your love handles.
Your love handles.
Right? So people are focusing too much on the six pack or the body fat, but who's worried about the visceral fat? Because that's why we have problems with heart disease and diabetes, Yeah. It's not the sugar.
Wow.
It's not the sugar.
I thought it was, that makes sense. I think when I heard you mentioned that on one of the other episodes you shot as well, not about the sugar, I wanted to like also hear like I try to understand it, but as we know, we'll the whole technical difficulties,
cool.
etc.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you mentioned about the sugar, it wasn't like I thought like for a whole time, people told me, it's the sugar that you have.
What sugar we're talking about, right?
Yeah,
there's different sugars.
There's processed sugar,
glucose.
There's
fructose.
and then is fructose
good?
That's the good one, eh? That's the one like sugar cane? And honey?
From the fruit. That's for everything.
Oh, sorry,
everything I'm having, right?
Yeah.
Sucralose from chemical-based sweetener. Sucralose. It's in all the products. It's in all the supplements and stuff like. It's in all the. It's like the main sweetener they use, right? Because it's chemically based, right? Whereas I'm getting fruit straight from the source, bro. Straight from the banana, straight from the mango, straight from the apple, straight from the orange. That's the difference. Your body computes it, comes into your body and goes, ding, I know what this is. Vitamin C, sugar from the orange. When you put the chemical-based sweetener in, your body's like, what's going on? Like trying to figure out what it is.
Is that why sometimes you'll feel a bit groggy or like a bit, like when you have, for example, I've noticed like even some diets that I'm on, I'm not saying that like I've been on like good diets, but it'll be like, sometimes you're eating clean, you feel good for that certain period of time. And then once you import that bad stuff, you go back to it, but it's not like to a point where you go back and feel like stink that you want to stop it. It's like you still do it.
So
like chocolates and stuff.
Because what it is, bro, is eat what God made, not what man made. Literally. Like if you eat what has been created by God, and that's natural, and our body is created amazingly by him, perfectly, right? Perfectly. Maybe some people not so much, with certain things going on. But if you think it from a cellular level, right, and go deep like that, our bodies can heal itself.
Wow.
Yeah. God has designed our bodies to heal itself, but we go and wreck the process by putting processed food in our bodies.
Whoa.
Yo.
That's a big gem drop.
Like for real. Like you wanna trust the process, but you wanna eat the process? Come on now.
Yeah.
I need to do a t-shirt like that.
Have it there.
Yeah.
Show it everywhere.
Trust the process.
Not eat
not eat the process. Yeah. I mean,
I feel like also, Whole Foods has been like a big impact in kind of, your perspective on your own life, how it's made you feel, how it's made your clientele feel, just the people around you as well. Would you say that, for people who lack the discipline to, either or even just inquire about a good nutrition,
100%.
what are those barriers you reckon kind of stops them from, taking that leap to either ask for that help in terms of that nutritional value, or just to like get on a better diet for their own health? Like, what do you think is like a barrier?
I think the first barrier, and if we're honest with ourselves, the first barrier is knowledge, like not having the knowledge to understand why they even need help, right? Put it this way, like if you're a doctor, right? And they say you're the patient and I'm the doctor, and I'm trying to tell you, like, you need to do some stuff in order to make, in order for this to go away, whether it's blood pressure or whatever. If you don't see the need for you to change, then you're not going to change. So I come from that angle.
Yeah.
I'm like, the reason why you got these diseases going on, right? Diseases in your body, whether it's diabetes, whether it's high blood pressure, whether it's, let's say you have chronic hay fever, which I did, which is why it switched, by the way. Or say you have acne or you have problems with your skin, it's the food.
Wow.
But people don't think about it like that. They think, I'll just put a face mask on. Like, I don't use any skin products, bro.
Oh, wow.
And I'm 48 on Tuesday. I'll be 48 on Tuesday. I just eat, like the food that God made for us, as much as I can, like not perfectly, but so I think the mindset is the key, and once I talk to people about movement or about nutrition, and I say, this is why, and here's the evidence to back it up. It's science backed up. I have, I'm going to show you. And then they're like, oh, damn. And then I'm like, look, if you don't believe me, I want you to try it for yourself. And if you feel better, then you're jumping on my program.
Wow.
If you don't, then don't jump on my program. 9 times out of 10, they jump on my program.
Yeah.
Because they feel better. They're dropping like kilo a day for 6, 7, 8 days straight.
Wow.
Without the exercise. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I come back to that low, the no cholesterol, no saturated fat, bro, and energy to burn, bro, just train and train and train and train. Now, if you don't training, you'll still get the results. And if you train as well, bro, you get double to triple to quadruple the results. Yeah.
That's what they say in terms of like, your abs are made in the kitchen.
Bro, don't even start me, bro. Don't even start me. Like people like, oh, what ab exercises do I need to do? I'm like, I don't do any. They're like, what? I said, nah. You like the only reason why I'll do it is because someone wants to see an ab do,
Yeah.
they want an ab. Like I'll do videos for someone, right? But I'm like when you're doing calisthenics, your abs are on all the time. When I'm doing a pull up, when I'm doing a strict muscle up, when I'm doing a front lever, a back lever, when I'm doing a human flag, my abs are on, right?
Whoa.
I don't like do an ab thing on the side, like nah, and because they're getting used all the time, and then now my nutrition is on point, and now my abs show, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, all these people doing these crunches in the gym, like it's your food, bro. It's your food. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like forget the ab crunches. It's your food. Or forget that exercise. Do calisthenics, and you'll use your core in every movement, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing, bro.
In terms of like, in terms of Cali, what's because now we're bringing into the subject of calisthenics, and now this is a good insight that I definitely want to hear more about in terms of, what got you into it. Like,
Yeah, man. Shout out to my man Hannibal for King, the GOAT, the OG. He started posting around 2008, and I think I didn't find his post until I think I might have come across of it, but let's say 2013, I started looking at YouTube and calisthenics, and then oh man, this guy, he's in Brooklyn, New York. He's jacked, bro, and he's just doing body weight training, and I'm like, man, I'd love to do that. Then I saw Zeph Zakavali, Barbarians. Shout out to Barbarians, New York as well, Brooklyn. Then I saw Frank Madrano, a vegan guy, in 2014 or just before 2014. And then I typed up calisthenics in New Zealand, and shout out to my boy Army Saw, Richie Lee, Brothers in Z. They were at Cornwall Park doing these, I think it was like 1 o'clock Saturday afternoon trainings.
Wow.
And I went down, man. I just went down there, and I was like, yo, I want to do calisthenics. And they embraced me like I was, like I was family. And that was it, bro. Never turned back.
Ooh. How long you been in the game?
Obviously, like I said before, I could be a lot stronger and a lot more skilled, but I was playing league as well.
Oh yeah, for sure.
For my club.
Yeah,
so I was getting a lot of injuries in that. But 2014, after only 6 months of Cali, bro, I was doing one-arm pull-ups, bro.
Ooh.
I was doing flags. I was doing all the cool stuff. Straddle planche, and I think I was doing straddle planche. No, maybe a couple of years later. But whatever, I was doing some high power moves.
Yeah.
And then I busted my shoulder in league, and then I kind of, let's just say I used it as an excuse for my Cali training. I started doing a bit of zoo at the time, Anchor, sort of primal movement, and there was no pulling, bro. It was just all crawling, a lot of push-ups. And I went from like jacked at like 76 to like a meerkat, bro. Like there was too much cardio, too much conditioning, too much hit. So I lost a lot of strength, and I lost a lot of pulling strength as well, because there was no pulling in that kind of modality of training. Great training. It taught me a lot of mental resilience, because their sets were really hard, and they're pushing you. And bro, to be honest, bro, like Ludus was really hard. Their training for Ludus was really hard. And then when I started doing zoo, that was even harder.
Wow.
But then, so now I'm like, I had a taste of kettlebell stuff, tire flipping, bit of body weight. And then I went from calisthenics, in 2013 to like 2014, 2015, to after the injury, doing this animal movement, high intensity animal movement, zoo training. And that was like really hard, bro. Whoa. Like just nonstop, bro. Honestly, bro.
Like, is zoo training like explosive movements with like
body
various
weight?
Body
so
weight?
It's like bear crawls and gorilla crawls and lizard crawls and froggy squats and
they're all high reps?
Hindu push up. Yeah, high intensity, bro. Like just nonstop, 30 seconds, boom, boom, boom. And yeah, man, I came. Yeah, let's just say I broke the record, bro. Ooh. I broke the record in Melbourne when I tried this vegan diet out, and I think everyone's like doing like 2 minutes, 2:30, 2:15. We're doing these resisted Anchor zoo movements. Like I think it was like five side bears, drop to the side 3 times. And I think some of the Aussie coaches were like, bro, I reckon you can sub 2 DC. And I was like, damn, there's pressure. So, because I was doing like 216, 210. And then I went to Melbourne and I did the high carb health raw tool 4. And I subbed the 2 minutes, bro, 157. And it's on video too. I might show you later.
Yeah, for sure, bro. Drop that link.
Crazy, bro. And I could not believe it, bro. And it was just from changing my diet in 3 days, bro. So I was already quite fit, but then I changed my diet and I just went, wow.
Just shot to the top.
And that's when I knew, all right, I found the game changer.
Wow.
Yo.
And you could say basically, like, when you found that game changer, it just like sparked a switch in your head and be like, damn, this is where I'm going to go. This is how I'm going to do it. And in terms of which direction, which leads you up today.
Leads me up to my brother saying, this is the vegan king. yeah. So yeah, it's crazy, bro.
So your brother was the one who
Carver King,
and then he gave you that name.
He gave me that name, yeah.
Oh yeah, because I was just about to ask you, where did that name come from?
Came from him, yeah.
Which
kind of cool in a sense.
Yeah, because
he didn't really like me doing the vegan thing. He was mocking me, but then when he saw the results and he saw me like killing the sessions and breaking records, he was like, "Bro, that's my brother, the vegan king."
Yeah,
He was proud, you know, because he's like, if it works for him, like, cool, you know. But at first he was like, yo, I don't know about this and that. And yeah.
Wow. I can see, what is it now bits and pieces of your story are starting to piece up together and show that identity, which I love to hear about it, you know? Because then it also, like, it really intrigues me because, you know, mindset and mentality is a really big thing that I love to, you know, hear about, and just understanding that your journey with, you know, your brother, to, you know, getting you into that fitness game, to then also, you know, having that nutritional value with it, to the amount of knowledge now. It's just been backed up by years and years of experience.
Bro, I mean, we haven't even got into the ATG stuff yet, you know?
Oh, shine some light on that. Actually,
yeah.
I hear the syllables heaps, but I actually don't know what that is.
Yeah, so obviously, you know, when you're training quite intensely for years and years, you know, since 2010, and you push yourself, you do hundreds and thousands of burpees. I mean, I told you I did 2013 burpees in 2013.
Yeah.
At midnight on the Mount Roscoe mountain while everyone's partying with a friend of mine. And who does that? Like, you know? And then 2014, I did 2014 pull-ups for New Year, which was crazy. And there was a lot of DOMs after that one. And then 2015, every year people were expecting something from me.
Yeah.
What's it going to be this year? So 2013 pull-ups, 2013 burpees, 2014 pull-ups, 2015, I was like, okay, we're going to go dips this year. We're going to do push-ups. Oh, this is too easy now. I've like went from the hardest to the easiest, you know. I was like, man, imagine 2014 muscle-ups. That would be pretty epic. But anyway, ATG, like, especially burpees, a lot of burpees over the years, heavy on the shoulders, on the joints, the wrists, right? So I was getting a lot of shoulder pain, and then obviously playing league and the certain, let's say, training not in full range of motion, like doing a lot of 90-degree squats or just past 90-degree squats and loading that and just and then excess weight as well on the knees, and then next minute you start having problems with your knees. I had an ACL in 2008, first game of the season, landed a pothole, busted my ACL, and then from then I never really rehabbed or recovered. And so 2022, I was frustrated, man. My back-to-back knee surgeries, and I was about to have another one. And so a lot of my friends, coaches, and a couple of my mates, athletes, were doing ATG Athletic Truth Group, Knees Over Toes guy, Ben Patrick. Guys, check him out. And I thought, I was on a camp, bro, Christian camp, Torture Springs Christian camp, and was having a good time and went down this big slide. And my nephew decided he wanted to beat me, so he jumped over the top of me and he dinged my leg, bro, my knee, and I was literally, bro, everyone's on holiday. I'm 3 days with my leg up. I sing it, bro, for 3 days, watching back to back ATG Knees Over Toes guys videos, bro. 3 days straight, bro. Stayed in my room, upset, bro. Like mental health, no good. Like that's it. I'm gonna start doing this ATG. Within 3 days of watching his stuff, I hit him up. I was like, yo, I want to do the program. within 2-3 months of him seeing my videos, he's seen me doing L-sits, and he's like, bro, you're doing L-sits already? You're doing multiple pull-ups and dips and that? So I busted my shoulder when I got my new bar. I got excited, jumped on it cold, busted my shoulder, busted my knee. So I now had shoulder and knee problem. And I jumped on his program. Within 3 months, bro, I was back loading deep squats, deep dips, deep everything. And I was like, I just found the game changer for rehab. I don't need physio no more. Yo. And so and then he's like, yo, I'd love for you to be the ATG coach, DC. I'm like, I'd love to. So I became an ATG coach.
Yeah.
Certified ATG coach, you know? And then that was it, man. It changed my own training and changed my family, my friends, and my clients. And now I'm coaching chiropractors. I'm training chiropractors. I'm training PTs. I'm training physios now. Bro, I would never thought, bro. I never thought I'd be training chiropractors and physios and PTs, bro. Like, you know,
who am I? See them as a qualified aspect there.
And then I mean, not obviously they not in that sense. Like, it's great. They do what they do, and obviously I'll refer them if need be. But there's certain things that they're not doing, and they've realized the value of it.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm not like, let's make sure we don't.
Yeah.
You know, like if you want to go and get if you want to go and get a chiropractor, cool. I'm probably going to get a physio, cool. But you know, if you need something, you know, different, or if you need something extra from a rehab point of view, I got you.
Nice.
Yeah, because I've learned from the best. You know.
Is that so the ATG?
Yes, Athletic Troops Group.
Is that implemented into your how you work with your clients now?
Absolutely.
So that's just like the main.
It's like, yep, absolutely. Wow. It's training people from the ground up.
Yeah.
From the big toe, right? Like just from walking, bro. Like if you're a PT, everyone knows when you're a PT, the first thing that you should test, or one of the 7 things you should test, is your gait. How you walk, how you run, how you crawl.
Oh, wow.
Right? Yeah. And if you don't get that from the beginning, then you miss the mark, right? Because that's going to affect their squat. Yeah, that's going to affect their running. That's going to affect their jump. That's going to affect everything.
I was gonna say that because like I've noticed that even when I go to the gym, or like when I see like, you know, my family go to the gym as well, sometimes like my range of motion works a lot better if my foot is out compared to like, you know, other people when their foot is in, you know, their range of motion goes down. And I always hear the thing sometimes, like I think, well, I had a mate who told me when my foot was out, but like it was more comfortable for me to get down and also feel the burn. But because the stance was wrong in his eyes, he was like, oh, you know, trying to correct that by like understanding the gait. Like maybe it's just information on just that kind of aspect, you know?
Totally.
If they knew, or if he even knew, he'd be like, oh, like that's why Chris squats like that instead of like this.
It's also anatomy too. Like people have different ways in which your hips move, right? And that changes the position of your legs. Like I'm no sports scientist or whatever, but I have like shout out to great guys like Coach Sons and Leo Flows Fit. You know, these guys have, you know, the sports science, exercise science. You know, there's a certain anatomy about everybody that's different from the other person. Like you could say like you said, one person out, one person in, because of the way their hips sit in their bodies. That creates change in how the movement happens. You know, that'll be my next thing, by the way, getting my exercise science paper.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Is it you'll be getting it here?
Yeah, right, I'm gonna talk to Coach Sons and yeah, Leo
and put that all in the plan.
Yeah, bro, I gotta have it, man. Gotta have it. Yeah.
Now I want to dabble more into, you know, your clientele base. So, not in the aspects of your individual clienteles, etc. It's more in the aspects of now, because you've kind of had this journey where you've understood how fitness works, how nutritional plans
still learning, right?
Still learning, you know, still learning as it goes. But you've understood that to a degree. Now, with understanding all these key things, when you are kind of, you know, putting yourself out there, you know, teaching that to the world, communication is a big aspect.
Yeah.
And I see things like, no matter, you could be the most skillful person in the world, but if you lack communication, no matter how far, you won't get that far.
Totally.
And with communication, have you had any, like, you know, just barriers or like within your own self that kind of stopped you from pursuing, certain clients, or like just putting yourself to a point where you could have known yourself could grab more? In terms of that, hopefully I explained that right for you.
That's actually a good question. Because I had a client that was from my chiropractor, right? And she was a young girl, and she'd put her back out. Obviously, I wasn't there when it happened. Apparently, she was doing a heavy squat, one of my other trainers said, and he warned her not to do it because he knew that she wouldn't be able to do it. So anyway, she hurt her back, and then chiropractor's like, oh, I'm working with her. It seemed to be okay for 3 to 6 months, whatever. So when she came to me, she was not in the right headspace for me to communicate to her. And I could tell straight away. Nervous, you read the signs. Good coaches read your body language, right? So I read the body language. And I remember when I first started, I wasn't reading nothing, bro. It was all about me, and I know this and that. But now I've had experience and reading the signs and the body language. And I was like, yeah, she's going to be a tough one. She's going to be a tough one because she's all uncomfortable and she doesn't like people looking at her. And she's like, I don't usually like being told what to do. Red flags, bro.
Yeah.
This is going to be a tough assessment, right? But anyway, so I did what I could. And then when it came to the point where I felt like I showed her or assessed enough what I needed to, I just pulled the session and was like, cool, that's enough for today. Let's go and talk about what we're going to do from here. And I was like, because you don't like being around all the people in the gym, because you are, maybe a bit shy or whatever, maybe it's best if we just go one-to-one at a park during the day where there's some people but not as much people. That was like my angle. And I thought, yeah, I'm doing good. And she said something that kind of like made me go, whoa. She's like, oh, what are you going to do? Murder me? And I was like, what? Did you just say what I thought you said? I said, did you just say that? And she was like, oh, and I was like, okay, this girl's troubled. Like she's got something going on, right? And I said, okay, we'll meet at the park on this time, on this day. And then anyway, it was doing my head in, bro, like this girl's like, this could be dangerous for me or in her, right? This could go bad. So I thought, how can I help her without meeting with her again? So I said, hey, look, I've been thinking because of your situation and this and that. I said, I tell you what, let's not have that meeting at the park. Let's not meet at all. I will send you some stuff through email, and then you just try it and let me know how it goes. 2 weeks later, that day she couldn't barely walk or sit down for the consult or the assessment. She came in 2 weeks later, big smile on her face. I was coaching someone. She said to me, it worked. She walked in, no limp, bro. And I knew, I said, yeah, I did my job.
Nice.
And so that's a good question, bro, because you have clients like that. And I saw a client the other day, bro. He walked in. I just saw him the other day. He walked in, bro, and I could tell. You can see in his eyes, he was stressed. He was hungry. He was tired. And I was like, cool, man, let's talk about this. And what do you want to do? Oh, I want to lose some weight. I said, oh, hold up. What's going on with your eyes? Like, have you slept? He's like, oh, work is stressing me out and stuff like that. I said, okay, man, when was the last time you ate? How much sleep have you had? I said, on a scale of 1 to 10, how stressed are you? He goes, 10 out of 10. I'm like, I'm taking you home. He's like, what do you mean? I said, you walked here, right? I was like, yeah. Where do you live? I said, this is my last session. I took him in my car and I took him home, bro. But not only that, I went straight to the vending machine, grabbed my card or my phone or whatever. I bought him some BCAAs. He's dehydrated. So here's some electrolytes. He goes, thank you, bro. Went home. I saw him a day, walked up to me, hey, DC, oh. But I could still see, so that's a good question, bro.
It's like just knowing who you're talking to, understanding the signs, as you mentioned as well.
Communication, bro.
Yeah.
Like making sure that you can communicate to them how they're feeling and what you can help them with or what you can't, So I think that's more important than the coaching itself.
Yeah, because like for me, that's kind of where it all starts in terms
connection.
of that connection base, being able to create the trust, also, providing, because they know what, if they're approaching you in some sort of sense, whether it's fitness or nutrition, they know you have the experience and the knowledge, but it's, can they trust
rapport?
you?
It's building that rapport.
And making sure that you're able to just connect
Yeah.
Just because usually if you can't connect, there's no matter how it goes, you can't really train them because they won't be able to create that rapport and everything like that.
Example was this girl. She just jumped on my program. She followed me on Instagram. I don't know how, and I just said, "Oh, how's it going? Thanks for the." Because I message every single person.
Wow.
I've always done that for years. Every single person that follows me, I message them and thank them personally. Thank you for following me. I appreciate your support. And then every now and then I might say, "Oh, not all the time, but sometimes I'm like, maybe this person needs help." So I'm like, "You gym? I have a home gym." She's like, "I have a home gym." I said, "Oh, cool. How's your training going? Like, do you need help with anything?" She said, "Actually, I'm looking for a trainer." I'm like, "Damn, look at that." If I didn't ask. And then I said, "Look, I tell you what, I'll come to your house and I'll do a free assessment." She was in Mount Wellington. I went there, took her through the stuff, and she was like, "Man, I learned so much today. Sign me up." I'm like, "Cool. I'll send you some stuff later." She goes, "Oh, how much?" I said, "No, I'll email you later." I don't. So I just, late at night, got on my thing. Okay, here's option A, B, C, D. I'll go with B. I jumped on a call with her after a week of online training with her. She wanted to do online. And it was a great chat. She's like, "Oh, I'm loving it. Like, exercises, this. I said, "Cool. There's certain exercises I'm going to change this week to suit your capability." She goes, "Oh, I'm loving it, man. Like, wow. Like, I'm so glad I found you." I'm like, "Man, I'm doing it, bro. I'm helping people, man. I'm doing what I love. I love what I do. It doesn't feel like a job."
Wow.
I'm blessed.
I feel like also
And blessing others.
Yeah. They always say that in terms of like totally understandable with what you mentioned as well. When you kind of do kind of what you're called to do, it ends up not being a job. It ends up becoming a lifestyle.
What you're called to do. I feel like I've been called to do this. I've been blessed to do this.
Wow.
Nothing else. Because I tried everything else. I've been in and out of the game, like I said to you earlier. Been in and out of the game, wondering if this is me. And then I'm like, when I'm not doing it, I don't feel like I'm fulfilling, my God-given, responsibility or gift. Like I feel like this is me, man. Like, and I can always get better. Obviously, sports science and all that kind of thing. So constantly investing in myself to get better.
100%. In that aspect of becoming better, and also like how working with clients, there have been this just great what's the word? Like a big, great change.
Sure.
And that's, whether it's changing your client's life, even just changing your own, just from, experiencing that you've helped, input or instilled into another person.
Man, we can go deep with that.
Yeah.
Remember I told you, 2013, I've been training people at the park since 2013, hundreds and thousands of people for free every Saturday, Como Park.
Yeah.
Since 2013, bro.
Wow.
And I've met so many people from all over the world, helped so many people for free, and it's exhilarating, bro. It's life-changing, not just for them, but for me to meet people from all walks of life. I mean, guys that were in and out of prison, guys that have never been to New Zealand in their life, and I'm the guy that when you come to my park, I'm going to come up to you and introduce myself and make you feel welcome in New Zealand. I'm that guy.
Wow.
Girl, boy, young, old, don't matter. And now I've made so many connections over the years. Had big followings, bro, but lost accounts, hacked accounts, given up 3 Facebook accounts because I couldn't control it. It was just hard to manage, bro. But I think I'm ready now.
Nice.
I'm ready to take on a lot more followers, a lot more people, a lot more clients, because now I've learned like how to, and then obviously I've got managers now, so that helps.
I can also see it from a perspective like my dad's the one who talks about this heaps, where sometimes like there are certain problems when if you ask for direction, the Lord will give you a direction in a way where you learn. So
for sure.
For example would be, if you ask God to help you with your anxiety, he'll put you with a problem that faces that. So you'll be going through that trial, you'll be going through that tribulation, and in a way you'll be like, oh, why did the Lord put me through this?
Yes. Oh man.
And in an aspect, just like, it's only to make you stronger. Right. So in terms of how you had those hacked accounts, those lost accounts, it was just the building step process in his plan to, get you to where you are today and just have that big impact.
For real, man. And like I'm no saint, and I don't think, if everyone's honest, no one is a saint.
Yeah.
But like I did some dumb stuff, bro, over the years. I'm not proud about. I'm not gonna like drop any dirty laundry on here. But
Yeah.
if you know me, guys, man. Like I went through some stuff. I did some dumb stuff. I made some dumb mistakes, and I could have given up, and I did a few times. I gave up on myself. I gave up on the service that I was giving. But now I'm like, you're right. Like I learned from it, and it's made me like stronger, better, and I guess more aware of like, man, this is your last chance, bro. You had your chance. You made your stuff up. You're maybe like 48 on Tuesday, and it's the last chance, bro. Like what if you can be? I think guys like Colonel Sanders, and not that I'm into KFC or whatever, but I think a lot of successful business people started at a late age. So it gives me hope.
Nice.
It gives me hope. Like you don't have to be, 18 or 28 or 38. I mean, I'm nearly 48, and I feel like I'm just starting to blossom now.
Wow.
As an athlete and a coach. I feel like I'm 18 when I'm training.
Bro, you look the part as well, so definitely.
Thanks, bro. Yeah, but and goodness of God, and just I had that life, bro. I had that party life. I had that that clubbing life back in the day, and bro, I'm just blessed to be able to finally say that I'm doing it now.
Nice.
I'm doing what I love, connecting with good people like yourself. And I'm just looking forward to the next 20 years, bro.
100%.
I'll be doing muscle ups at 99, by the way.
Ew. Let's go. I love that.
I'll be doing human flags at 67, 77, 87. Like, whoa. Because I've seen the guys do it.
Yeah.
I've seen Asian dudes like doing flags at 67, 87.
Bro, so crazy, yeah.
So I'm like, age is just a number, and as good as you feel.
Yeah.
Right? And I feel good. So if the Lord keeps me here that long.
Definitely. All in God's plan.
Yeah.
Like, even just going into, kind of want to dab into this little thing here. Like, I'm going off script at the moment, so yeah. I want to hear about the, with pursuing this career now, wanting to gain more clients, more of an outreach, more of an engagement as well. Has there been like great support from family?
Oh man, but get me emotional now.
Sorry, bro.
So I had this thing, like everyone knows that I got 2 competitions that I'm running. I'm judging on Saturday and Sunday coming up this weekend.
Yep.
Timely, yeah.
Wow.
And I did a fundraiser for DC's trip to the GC, Gold Coast, right?
Wow.
And the support was phenomenal, bro. Like I started to give a little page, and I had all these people just donating, bro, on a daily. And I was just like, I was tears, bro. For real. Just people messaging me and reposting my story on the thing. And but I actually had to shut the page down, and because they were taking quite a big cut of it, of the thing. Yeah, so I was like, nah, they're gonna take like 30 cents of every dollar.
Whoa.
I'm like, nah. After 2 days, I shut it down. And then I just was like, I'm just gonna trust God.
Yeah.
With this fundraiser, and I'm just gonna like reach out to people that I know. And then my mom, bro, bless my mom and my brother, they did like a raffle thing. I'm not really into raffles as a Christian, but they did this raffle thing, and my mom was showing me all the family and friends that were supporting it, bro. And she sold 2 raffles, bro, within like weeks.
Whoa.
And they were going for like $50 each.
Wow.
And each raffle section was like $2,000. So she's fundraised $4,000 in like a week or 2.
Wow.
Her and my brother. So man, family support, bro. And then obviously the family are like sending me money, sending her into her account and stuff like that. So yeah, man, the support's been phenomenal. And not just family as well, but friends, people like yourself, all my Cali athletes, all my Cali community, all my followers. I imagine if I had my 8.9K followers, I would have had even more. But
Yeah.
for me, I'm not about the numbers of followers, bro.
Yeah.
I'm about the right connection and, followers that actually follow what I do, don't just, steal my stuff. Because I've had a lot of people steal my stuff over the years and, and not credit, for what I've done with them. But it is what it is. I forgive them all.
Yeah.
Then the Father forgives them. They don't know what they do. It's all good, man. But yeah, family's being supportive, and obviously not just family, but friends and followers and that. Yeah, man. And just connecting with some OGs like Hannibal and Zeph Zaccavelli and the goats, man. The goats of Cali. And shout out to Ben Patrick. He used to message me, bro. Like, Ben Patrick's like got millions of followers, and say all these top athletes and calisthenic guys, they give you, when you're talking to them and they're coaching NFL players and NBA players, and Ben Patrick's like, yo, DC, what are you up to, man? I'm like, what? Like, why do you even have the time to talk to me? He's like, bro, you're my coach, you're my family.
Wow.
And I'm like, bro, this guy's for real. This is a genuine, this is a real guy, bro. So shout out to him, shout out to Hannibal, Zeph, the guys that have huge followings but still have time for me. And I feel like, I think I'm doing something right.
Yeah, 100%.
If they're talking to me, if they're jumping on a phone call with me, coming, like I brought Zeph over, hosted him in New Zealand, did a workshop with him, and now I'm about to do some stuff with Hannibal. Oh, bro, life's good, man. I'm blessed.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Finally, again, reaping the rewards of all the years of hard work and
100%.
hustle.
Everything all plays a part.
Yeah. The lessons, the hardships, the trials, the tribulations, the storms, and now, starting to see the flowers blooming.
The only reason why I mentioned about the support and everything as well, is because also, there are people who, long for, a support system within their own lives. And then understanding that, some people have that support, which is great. That's still good to go. But just people out there who don't have certain support features or like support groups,
Networks,
what can be something like a piece of information that you reckon that's real beneficial to not gain that support, but inspire them to always stay strong and know that support is always there?
Man, that's why we do calisthenics, bro. Because calisthenics is all about the people, bro.
Wow.
It's a community. Like, we built a community. I built a community in 2013 alongside, Army and Richie and the Brothers in Z, and then Bar Brothers in Z. I connected with them. And I mean, I started with one group, Brothers in Z, and then I connected with Bar Brothers in Z. And then next minute, bro, I'm connecting with the whole world through calisthenics, like just from posting or following or sharing love and so like I'm connected to so many people, like, and support, man. If you want support, man, calisthenics community, bro, we're family, bro.
Wow.
So I had friends, I had family and friends and people from all over the world, in person and not in person, that came to us for support because we were always there for them, even if it was just a message, even if it was just coming to the park and just doing a session and talking about their problems. And so that's, man, you can't, if you want support, man, get into calisthenics, man, because we're about the people, we're about family.
Wow.
It's not just about doing cool stuff. It's not just about being great. It's like, man, if you want to be a great person,
Whoa.
Like me and whatever I've done over the years is because of people, because of the people that have supported me from day one. I'm nothing without the people.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's what calisthenics is about, bro. It's people first, people over profit, bro.
Oof. That's a powerful statement. I love that.
I made that one up myself. Yeah.
Bringing out the gems.
Yeah, just, dry, corny. No, but it's for real, man. Like, people over profit all day, every day.
Yeah.
Or God over money.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I'm saying? Like, bro.
Was that, like when you said God over money, I'm trying to remember this one verse that comes in my head. I have the gist of it, but it's not fully there. But it was like, the the love of money is kind of what kills.
Love of money is the root of all evil,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. That's the
Real.
one. Love of money is the root of all evil.
Yeah. And like some people interpret it in all different ways. But I mean, come on, man, it's pretty obvious. You know, if your whole thing is to make money and step on people to get it, then yeah, you got a problem with love for money.
Yeah.
I mean, like, let's think about me, right? And like, I've been getting a lot of sponsorships. I've been getting a lot of followers back and reconnecting with people and new people and a lot of clients since I dialed in. And now that I'm, you know, it's kind of the CV of what I do. Someone asked me, like, talk about money, like, bro, do you want to make a lot of money? Like, who doesn't want to make a lot of money?
Yeah, 100%.
But it's not about a lot of money, you know, like, it's not about having a lot of money. It's not about being rich or poor. It's about what do you do with it? Like, what are you trying to do with it? Like, for me, I want to be able to support my family, like buy my mom a house. Like, I got grandchildren now, I got 3 grandchildren, 4 kids. I want to set my 4 kids up. I want to set my mom up. My sister wants to live with my mom. I want to buy a house for them. Like, it ain't about me. It ain't about me, like, being rich and stuff, you know? It's about me setting something up for my family, you know?
Love that.
And then it's like, even if I have money, like, whose money is it anyway? It belongs to God. And I need to be a good steward of it. So I'm literally selling my car, my BRZ. I'm selling all my stuff, you know, so that I can appreciate the little I have so that I can create something bigger.
Wow.
Yeah. Like, I'm going to go to Samoa and live there for however long as I can to appreciate the little they have. They're content with little. We're here and, you know, we're not that content, bro, to be honest. So I want to go to Samoa, learn the culture, like, live off the land, have like no money, live off the land, and be like grateful for what God has given me, like fruit and vegetables and, you know, somewhere to swim, somewhere to live, stay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go to Samoa, but I'm not only do that, but I'm going to go there and help all my people get healthy.
Wow.
I'm going to do calisthenics in Samoa, calisthenics in Fiji, calisthenics in Tonga, calisthenics in every island, and take people back to their roots.
Wow.
Which is a whole food plantation diet.
Nice.
And a little bit of fish if you go to the sea.
Just yeah, also, like, because since you mentioned your whole whole foods plant-based diet, what exactly is that in terms of, like, yeah, like, if people were to hear it for the first time, like, to be honest, if you go whole foods plant-based diet, to me, I just think anything that's like fruits and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, like, whole foods plant-based diet is anything in its natural form, right?
Oh, okay.
So like a kumara, a taro, a banana, anything that's coming from the ground or the tree, right? It's whole food plant-based diet, like fruit and vegetables. Nothing that's packaged, nothing that's processed, right?
Oh, okay. Yep.
No oils, obviously. Like, everyone, oh, what about oil? Like, really? You want to go there with the oil? No oil. There was no oil back in the days.
Yeah.
It's a man-made thing, you know? You know, oil is 100% cholesterol and saturated fat. You drop that oil, and then you drop the saturated fat from the animal products, and now you reverse your disease. You reverse your diabetes. You reverse your blood pressure. You drop your blood pressure. You actually reverse heart disease.
Wow.
Right? Because, yeah, it all comes from a high fat, you know, saturated fat. You get a lot of saturated fat in your body, and you cause problems with, you know, cardiovascular issues and heart disease and diabetes. Because diabetes isn't caused from sugar. It's caused from myocellular lipid, which is fat in the blood cells based on your diet.
Wow.
Yeah. And the sugar is the symptoms, not the cause.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm like mind blown.
Yeah. For real. I mean, why is it that I'm eating, you know, 80% carbs, 80% fruits, 80% sugar, and why do I still look lean and outperform these young guys that I'm training with?
Wow.
It's not the carbs, it's not the sugar, it's the fat. The fat you eat is the fat you wear. Shout out to High Carb Health.
Hey, I love that. The fat you eat
is the fat you wear, bro.
Sheesh. That's
Real.
actually some food for thought.
Another
right
T-shirt right there.
there. You can name drop
Market.
all the T-shirts.
Yo, still my idea. I'm coming for you. The Lord is coming for
The
you.
Lord.
Vengeance is mine, says the Lord.
That's actually,
That makes sense, bro.
yeah.
Right?
The fat you eat is the fat you wear.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
That's actually such a gem.
It's a gem, bro. It's working. It's
Yeah.
working for me and my clients. And, you know, I have met doctors in person from New Zealand, from Australia, from America. Shout out to Dr. Gregor, How Not to Diet book. You know, Michael Clapper used to live in Whangarei. Now he's in America running retreats, bro. These guys are working with T. Colin Campbell. I'm doing a certificate on him, by the way, coming out soon. Sorry about that.
No, good.
China study shows, you know, the Asians were eating rice every day, right?
Yeah.
Carbs, and yet they were healthier and leaner than the Americans. Why? Because the Americans are eating processed carbs, oiled, you know, processed. Rice is, you know, is the whole food. You know what I mean?
I think about that heaps because when I look at, you know, for the Asian community, like the way that their skin glows or the way that they eat their nutritional stuff. And you always see rice is always a part of their diet.
Yeah.
And then like you hear people like other people out in the world talk about like, oh, you know, the rice is not good. You have to eat brown rice.
Yeah.
But then you see like, you know, in the Asian families, like, oh, white rice is
I know.
also good. So like, now you don't know who to kind of go through, but then it tallies down to how they live their lifestyle.
Yes.
And we've noticed that, you know, in the Asian culture, they kind of put it down to a T where they kind of know what is good for them, how they kind of live by, and you know where
And
things
mainly
go.
steam food, you know, like barely like deep fried stuff that came later on, you know.
Yeah.
So you got to check out the China study, guys. It's one of the biggest studies that was ever done with the Chinese and Americans, and yeah, the proof's in the pudding, bro. Like I eat cocoa rice like every night.
Ooh.
I eat taro, bananas, green bananas, steamed rice every night, and I have no problems with you know, diabetes. I have no problems with weight gain or stuff like that. But as we know, guys, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to know that you're in a calorie deficit, you're going to lose weight, right? So let's not get that wrong. I know people are going to be like, calorie deficit. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But how you do it is another thing. You can do it in a way that feels sustainable. I love carbs and I love fruit. Why would I want to get rid of it? I tried the keto diet and I couldn't stand it because I love fruit and I love carbs. No carb did not work for me, bro. From a taste point of view, from a performance point of view, as soon as I went 80, 10, 10, 75, 15, 15, you know, high carb, low fat, boom, I'm like unstoppable, bro. You know?
Would you like in terms of, you know, like, you know, high carb fats, or like in terms of that diet, what's your intake, or what's your point of view on the type of diet you're on compared to carnivore? Like I've heard like there's a lot of, like, you know, everyone says there's a lot of benefits, but of course, you know, everyone has their own opinions, which is justifiable and kind of how it goes. But yeah, for some reason I just wanted to hear your, like, because you're on a high, like, you know, you love the high carbs. I just wanted to hear your thought process on like carnivore. What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, like I said before, I think I mentioned it before, is like the digestive process to break down the meat, right? A lot more energy used to break down the meat as opposed to breaking down the mango, or let's say breaking down the bananas, right? There's a big difference in energy used. But then you come down to the science, bro. If you have a look at a lot of the science and a lot of people that have cancer, you know, issues with like high blood pressure, then you got the saturated fat and the cholesterol from the meat and all that kind of thing. Then you got, you know, and then it's like carbs is your primary source of energy. Why would you want to just eat only meat? Like, why? When carbs is your primary source of fat. So you can, like, you guys can do a kind of, you can eat meat and have like no carbs or low carbs, or do this keto thing and all that, right? But is it sustainable, and does it really give you the energy that you need, like regularly? Really? Like, man, I know people that have done keto, that have done intermittent fasting. That's another thing, intermittent fasting. It's like there were studies done, man, from keto and from intermittent fasting, right? There were studies done that the people that didn't skip breakfast in the morning had the same amount of calories, right? Same amount of calories as the other person. The person that skipped the breakfast actually lost less weight. The person that ate breakfast in the morning lost more weight.
Whoa.
And the meal you should be skipping is not the breakfast. It should be skipping, if anything, you should be skipping is dinner. But that doesn't mean you have to skip dinner. But it's like, why skip breakfast when breakfast comes from the word breaking your fast? You just slept for 8 hours. That's why it's called breakfast.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
So you should be breaking your fast after your sleep with food. So why do you want to go intermittent fasting? Why?
I love that because at the moment I just started at the moment, like now for the last couple of weeks, I was thinking of like I was doing it at the same time. You know, I skipped my breakfasts, and one, I think at first it started for me because I got too lazy to eat in the mornings. So there was that. Like I got a bit too lazy to eat, but then like I was always told, you know, intermittent fasting, you know, has its like benefits, but like just hearing this now in terms of like breakfast, I always thought that having breakfast was a corporate scheme.
I mean, it's easily done, right? I mean, if we go into that corporate scheme, I'll talk about corporate scheme, bro. Corporate scheme is like, you need to have bacon and eggs, and that's corporate scheme. Why? Because think about the government, like think about, like I'm probably going to get shot for this, but think about like the industry, or let's say the health organization. You know, Cancer Foundation, Heart Foundation, all these foundations are funded by the companies that actually cause the problem.
Wow.
Right? The big names, the McDonald's and the, you know, all these fast food restaurants and that are funding the very foundations that are supposed to be encouraging us to get rid of the problem. And that's my problem. And that's not just in New Zealand. That's all over the world. Money is power, bro.
Yeah.
They don't care about us, bro. The government don't care about us. It's one big cycle. It's give you food that makes you sick, then give you medicine, then cut you up, and then repeat the process until you die.
Wow.
But God's like, eat this food. This will make you flourish. It will make you thrive. And then eat this food to heal you as well. No meds needed. Help you move better, feel better, and live better.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? I've done the whole meat, dairy, and eggs thing, bro. I know what it's about. And I've done my research. I've researched, you know, and I've watched documentary after documentary, New Zealand ones, American ones, Australian ones. I had people that were told they only had this much to live. Whole food, plant-based diet. They were told they had 3 months to live. They've been living for 30 years longer, bro. I met people in person. Shout out to Jeanette and Murray. They did the whole of Australia. She told she had months to live. She went on a raw, whole food, plant-based diet. Did the whole of Australia, bro. Check it out. I got her book. She signed it for me, bro.
Wow.
So I met amazing people, doctors that don't give meds or pills. They prescribe you with a whole food, plant-based diet and reverse all the disease. Everyone's off medication. Everyone's living, thriving.
Wow.
So I've been there, done that, bro. I've been to seminars. I've been to the doctors coming over from America. I've been to all the nutrition talks, bro.
Wow.
Seen them, met them in person, read their books, met the people, tried it on my clients, and it works. It's like, why would I? You know, I know what works, you know? Yeah, so.
I love that.
Yeah, I'm not just like saying it because someone told me to. I tried it myself and tried it on my clients. Even my mother. My mother tried it. She went to like the weight, and she looked like she was in her 20s, bro. When she tried my thing for 3 months. And I said, don't worry about the training. Just do what I say. Have the smoothies, have the fruit bowls, have the carbs, low carb, high carb, low fat. And she was glowing, bro. And the whole family was like, wow. But family got in her ear, and then she went back. And then now she's got problems with high blood pressure. And now they were going to give her give her an operation. And my brother just had heart surgery. And I'm like, it's the food, guys. I told you. They're like, oh, it's hereditary. Better go get checked. I said, guess what? When I had my Achilles snap from my injury recently, because I played on after hitting my knee and thought I was Verbots. I got my heart check and they were checking the thing, man, like too low, blood pressure too low, heart rate too low. They're like, something wrong with us.
Wow.
Crazy, bro. And
Oh.
I did my blood work. They're like, man, you're pretty healthy, eh? I'm like, yeah. Yeah. You know? So I'm not really worried about the hereditary thing. It's not hereditary, guys. We just eat what everyone else is eating. We eat what our parents eat. We eat what our brothers and sisters eat. We just eating fast food, and we need to eat real food.
I really appreciate this insight, just because, like, well, like you mentioned before, with blood pressure and everything, like my parents, I'm not gonna name which one, but yeah, my parents, yeah, they have, they have that high blood pressure, and
Pre-hypertension.
yeah. So in terms of, plus they're pretty old, they're in their 60s, which they've lived a great life. But just understanding that the food that they're eating within the islands, because everyone loves the pork, the steaks, and
But
all that
it
stuff.
never used to have that in the islands.
Yeah.
You see?
Oh wow.
See where I'm going?
Mm.
What were the islanders eating? They were eating fruit and vegetables and the occasional fish. Didn't have the pigs and that back then.
Wow.
It wasn't until those palangis came over. Like it wasn't our staple diet, bro, is what I'm saying.
Yep.
So when a lot of the islanders used to say to me, bro, you're not a real islander, you don't eat meat. I'm like, bro, do your research. We weren't eating meat. The only meat we were eating was fish.
Yeah. I heard about that.
Yo, facts, bro.
Damn.
You've researched it. You Google what a plant-based diet looks, what a real Polynesian diet looks like. It's like fruit and vegetables and fish. There's no pork. Wow. There's no steak. There's no tuna. There's no chicken. There's no horsey. Sorry, my vegan people, man. Sorry about that. But that's literally how it is.
Wow. So
you can change your people. Like I'm working with I'm not gonna name, but I'm working with a mid-60-year guy. He worked with me, right? First 3-4 days, he lost 4 kilos, energy through the roof, amazing sleeps, amazing bowel movement. He's on my second week now, and he's like, DC, man, you changed my life. This is a Samoan guy. He's big. Like well, he's not huge, but let's just say he's not for an athlete, because he's supposed to be like a master's athlete doing like shot put and stuff. And I said, bro, I'm about to make you a freakish athlete, because not only are you doing my diet, or you're doing, let's say you're eating whole foods, but I'm giving you real movements, mobility. And now he's like, bro, I was throwing the other day and my shoulder felt amazing. I said, external rotators, bro. External rotators. He's like, he's struggling with 3 kilo, bro. Doing external rotators for like 6 to 10 reps. And here I am, 22.5 for reps.
The weight, 22.5?
Yeah.
Oh.
I work towards it, right?
Yeah.
I have so many strong guys struggling with one, mobility, and then end range movement. And then secondly, so weak. And they wonder why they have shoulder problems. They wonder why, yeah.
You're speaking to me right now, brother. I love that.
Bro,
you're like shoulder problem. I'm like, oh my God, that's
we're gonna do I got you, bro. We're gonna do some sessions together, right? I got you.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate that. Yeah, love
Help you be more athletic. I know you're athletic already, but I'm gonna make you freakish athletic, bro. That's all we do.
I love that. And I appreciate you, man.
No,
Holy.
And you too.
I love that insight. Like, cause now I'm thinking that, for some reason, like, I'm thinking about it now. I'm just like, my life was a lie. No, it's one
Bro,
of those
mine
moments.
Mine was, bro. Like for real. I'm like, it is what it is, bro. Like if you can be open to it, and if you try it and it works, then just keep doing it, bro. So I mean, I've helped so many people go from so stiff. I remember one of my first clients. I started doing ATG, bro. This girl. I need to try and reconnect with her, man, because she wanted to do some online coaching. Kimberly, man. Much love, Kimberly.
Much love, Kimmy.
Wherever you are. Bro, within weeks, I had her full splits, bro.
Wow.
Weeks. She's like, I haven't done splits since high school. And I got her like full front splits, bro, within like 4 weeks, bro. Just from doing like ATG split squats and good mornings and couch stretches. And yeah, man, I was like, what am I doing here? Like, you know, that was like an eye opener. Like, yo, I'm changing the game now. You know, yeah. So yeah, and then obviously people running faster, jumping higher, going from no push-ups, no dips, no pull-ups to like weighted. But at the end, by the time they finish with me in 12 weeks, they're doing weighted pull-ups, weighted dips, multiple reps of push-ups, ATG split squats, overhead, barbell over their head for reps of half body weight when they couldn't even do a single body weight split squat, bro.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh.
The change is just extraordinary.
And that's a combination of Cali and ATG and then obviously a bit of nutrition as well. And they were doing it, bro, and they all was crazy results. And I'm like, yeah, man, it's exciting, bro, to see people go through those changes. It's one thing to be athletic, it's one thing to like get a crazy physique, but then to reverse disease as well.
Yeah, game changer.
I'm doing all three, bro.
Wow.
Yo, and that's why I love it. I love what I do. Yeah.
That's actually...
So reverse pain, reverse out disease, reverse out pain, reverse out pain, reverse out disease. Bro. Yeah.
Mind-blowing.
Yeah. That's the cross movement, bro.
And it's like, for me, like, I can see that, like, that effect that even, like, the way you're speaking about it, the belief that you have in it, is such a key driver. Like, that's... And, like, plus you're already showing it within your own life as well, you know? Turning 48, still looking like you're 20.
Thanks, bro.
But I'm like, that's, you know, that's where it's at. So in terms of like, I know for myself, like, you know, I don't want to be that guy and go, yeah, I'm gonna start now, because definitely like I have my own back thoughts in terms of like, oh, I actually want some chocolate right now, you know?
hey, Whitaker's 70% Samoan chocolate. Go get it.
Oh, is that just dark chocolate, or can we like?
It's 70%. It's Samoan chocolate, bro. Whitaker's.
Yeah, so any Whitaker's.
It actually says Whitaker's 70% Samoan dark chocolate. It's yum, bro.
Okay, like that's the next game changer.
Yeah,
I'm usually going to like Milky Bar, Kit Kats.
Yeah, yeah. Shout out to Living Coco, by the way, my new sponsor with the cocoa, 1 kilo of cocoa coming to my place when she flies over in a couple of days. Shout out to them. Yeah, bro, gotta love my cocoa Lysa, bro, and my cocoa Samoa, man. I can live on that. Yeah, that's obviously got benefits, man.
Yeah. How do you...
Magnesium and stuff like that.
Oh, if you'd like to share some light on it, how do you usually make it?
Which the
the cocoa Lisa?
Simple, bro. Just like
is it just rice?
Chuck your cocoa in the water and then just like, you know, don't fully boil it, just simmer it, and then just add the rice, bro, and just stir it up. And then if it's not sweet enough, throw in some coconut sugar or you know, and boom. And if you want it a bit creamy, put in some pepe, coconut cream, boom.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my go-to, bro.
Because that can also be used as like a dessert replacement in a way.
I literally was having cocoa rice for 2 weeks straight, bro. And everyone was like, how is he shredding on cocoa rice every day? All that sugar, all that carbs. I'll tell you how. I wasn't eating the fat. That's how. Right? So what I was doing from morning till 4 o'clock, that's the raw till 4, that was the game changer, bro. What I did from the moment I woke up, they say, I'm going to give you guys some tricks now. Front load, negative calorie, apple, under 100 calories. Boom, had my apple and my water, 100 calories. Front load my calories in the morning, big smoothie, big fruit bowl, half a watermelon, even a whole watermelon sometimes. And then lunch will be similar. 4 o'clock, I start cooking my rice, maybe have some taro or whatever. And then dessert will be my cocoa Lysa, you know? And I'm like shredded to like 8.7%, bro. In 4 weeks, lost 10 kilos.
Sheesh.
Without the cardio, without the intense training, just the food, man.
Wow.
Change starts on your plate, bro. There's another t-shirt.
Hey, change starts on your plate.
Not this plate on your back. Yo, for real, man. Starts on your plate.
I love that.
Yo.
That's such some great insight, man. Like this, like compared to, like, you know, like compared to a lot of people I've had on, you know, definitely every episode has its unique value. Every episode has its unique change or unique knowledge, wisdom compared to, you know, the person who's, you know, projecting that message. And it's just great to hear just the whole aspect of, you know, health from a nutritional point of view, also from an experience, but also a well-studied movement, and understanding just how that all plays a part in just you and how that all revolves around you.
And I would say the most important thing, you know, would be sleep. You know, sleep is more important than the nutrition and the movement, right? So if you're, I mean, most people drink coffee or let's say energy drinks because the lack of sleep or whatever. Like, if you can change that and get your sleep right, you won't need any caffeine, bro. Like zero.
Wow.
And that's what I did in 12 weeks, bro. Zero caffeine, zero energy drinks. Just got my sleep in, got my 7 hours in, 7 to 9, you know, 7 minimum, 9 max. And, bro, and from a fat loss point of view too, right? If you're not getting your sleep, that's going to affect your fat loss as well, you know?
Wow.
So yeah, if you can get, guys, if I can encourage you with that, get your sleep right first, then your nutrition, then your movement, then your training, you know? Not the other way around.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're fighting an uphill battle, bro. You're never going to win, you know? Never.
Wow. I love that.
And you know, when it comes to calorie deficit, right? Like, you know, I think there's that saying, you can't train what is it? You can't out train a bad diet. Like, you can't, I'm saying, like, my line is, you can't out train overeating. Good luck, bro, you know? Bad diet, and just stop overeating, bro. Like, Japanese have the 80-20 rule. They eat to 80% full. I eat till I'm full. When I'm full, I stop. I was telling one of my guys had over last night, one of my clients, and he was eating, and I can see he was struggling. I said, "Why are you struggling, bro?" He's like, "Oh, because I'm getting full." I was like, "What did I tell you? When you're full, you stop. You don't have to eat this. I'm not going to be offended the fact that you didn't finish this. Get out of that mindset." I mean, look at the people. Look at our people, man. It's like, you're going to get a hiding if you don't finish that food, right?
Yeah.
That's the wrong mentality, man. You wonder why our people are obese, guys. Come on, bro.
Wow.
Stop teaching our children that nonsense, bro. That's nonsense. That's from the pit. Let your kids eat, and when they're full, let them go, man. Otherwise, you're not going to let them go. They ain't going to be able to run. You can't even run with your kid. Your kids can't even run because you're overfeeding them, bro. Because you're all, oh, you need to eat this. Come on, guys, wake up. We need to wake up. Wow. You know, eat to 80% full, 100% full. And when you're done, you're done. And guess what? You'll save money as well, because now you have food for the next day or the next meal.
Wow.
I have so much food that I carry on to the next day, right? So if you want to save money, that's how you do it, guys. That's the hack.
That's the hack.
Yeah.
I feel like in terms of that piece of information, that's probably something that I legit want to implement, is eating to 80% full. Because like, I am one of those persons who like as you mentioned, I am one of those guys who would eat until I'm full. And then either like...
The whole world is, bro.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
Oh, yeah. True.
It's what's pumped in the society. Like, you get this big burger, like have 5 patties, or biggest burger in the world. Like, come on, man.
Wow.
You don't see no fruit and vegetables advertised. You don't see no Whole Foods advertised, do you? None.
That's actually so true.
You can't make money from it. And why do you think the plant-based food's expensive? Because the government don't fund it, bro. Because they don't make money from it. The dairy makes money, the eggs, the meat, bro.
That's another gem.
The foundations, bro, the Heart Foundation, the Cancer Foundation, are all funded by the companies that caused the problem in the first place.
Like you said earlier.
So now, if I can give you advice on the 80-20 rule, and I think this is very important for you because you're an athlete, right? If you're an athlete, only do the 80-20 rule on your rest days. Make sense? On your training days, that's where you want to go 100%, because you need to
replenish the nutrients.
Correct. Or the calories that you've burned, right? So let's not be silly like that, guys, and be like, because I mean, I've tried intermittent fasting, and there's also a timing aspect to it, right? So if you're doing intermittent fasting and training 6 a.m., which I was doing earlier on, and then I'm like starving by 12. But if I train in the afternoon, I'm not starving because my food starts from 12 to 8. You understand? So timing is also key, guys. But if I would say to 80% non-training days or rest days or light days, 80-20, heavier days, more intense days, 100% full, right?
Mm.
Yeah. Does it make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Helps.
I'm definitely gonna use that. Sure, I appreciate that
Nah,
little
it's
tip,
all good,
man.
bro. It's all
A little
good.
gem, another gem you
Yeah,
dropped.
it's
You
all
know,
good.
just dropping gems through this whole episode, bro.
Nah, it's all good, bro. Just trying
I
to
love
help,
that.
Trying to help.
In terms of actually what we got next, because bro, I actually have quite a bit that I did not go into, but I actually want to leave this for for when you come back.
Okay. Was it episode 2?
Yeah. Because then definitely when you go to your next journey, which is in Australia for a bit,
We can.
and then
yeah,
and then when you come
talk about
back, because I definitely want to hear more about that journey, because that's gonna definitely bring out a different aspect in terms of what you've experienced in Australia, or
Sure.
different changes, etc. But before we kind of finish off, actually, I do have like a little rapid fire round. It's real small, like 5 questions. It's usually whatever comes to mind first. My first question is, what is your go-to meal for energy and performance?
Bananas. Eat like a gorilla, perform like a gorilla.
Love that. A book that had a huge impact on your mindset.
Ooh. Like a certain book or like any book?
Whatever comes to your head first.
Oh, that's easy, Bible.
Hey, I love that.
It's very easy.
Your favorite calisthenics move?
Front lever. Human flag and front lever. I have to have 2. Yeah.
One daily habit you won't skip?
One daily habit won't skip.
Yeah.
Praying and reading my Bible.
Gem. Biggest misconception about plant-based athletes?
Meat, no problem. Is that what you mean? Nah, biggest misconception, yeah, like where do you get your protein? Like, yeah, there's protein in everything. So yeah, shout out to Patrick Bobomian, strongest man in the world. Check him out. Fully vegan.
For the vegan?
Yeah. Anyway,
No, I had a bit more, but these are all stupid questions.
that's okay. That's all good.
But in terms of like that fire on, like every answer you actually answered on those ones, actually gems, bro. So appreciate you with those rapid rounds.
All good.
Other than that, man, I actually just want to thank you, bro. Fuck.
Thank you, bro.
Appreciate your time, bro. Holy.
Oh,
Definitely
sorry.
such an insight. I definitely never saw it to an extent, because, like, one was just being uneducated in nutrition itself. But the insight, the value that you've just shared, 100%, it's definitely a game changer. And I understand that definitely, people out there who are seeing this will have to like at least grasp something if they are willing to.
Yeah,
And it
totally.
all depends on the person itself.
Game Changer was a movie they did, right, on plant-based athletes, if you haven't seen it. So since you dropped that line,
Whoa.
so check it out. Game Changer. They did
I'm gonna have a look at that.
Yeah, check it out.
Is that what it's actually called?
Yeah.
Oh, word for word, game changer.
Yeah,
Holy.
I was actually at the red carpet for it.
Oh.
Thanks to High Carb Health, they said come for the red carpet. And, yeah, but anyway, enough about that. But yeah, let's say if people wanted to try the diet, or let's say the movement or whatever, like not everyone has to go fully no turkey, right? Like I did. I went fully no turkey in 2014, January 1st, 2014. But like if you did like 80% plants on your plate and 20% of maybe meat or whatever, you get some results. But how much results do you want from a performance perspective, from a body recomposition aspect, from a health perspective? You only get the results that you put in. So if you go 80% plant-based, you get 80% results. You go 100% plant-based, you get 100% results.
Wow.
So, but I would say start with 80 at least. 80% plants on your plate, and then start to dial it to 85, 90, 95, and then boom. And then,
Wow.
because I don't want people to be like, oh, I can't do it. You can start somewhere. And I'll happy help you. Because I help non-vegans as well, right?
Appreciate that, bro. Also, even just before we kind of finish off today, if you could leave one piece of advice for somebody, looking just to take control of their own lives within just their mentality or mindset in general, what's that one piece of advice you could give them?
Oh man, one piece of advice I could give.
Or it could be if it's easier on your end, if it's within the nutrition industry, no matter how you want to go with it.
I think I got a good one for you, bro. Hope you like it. Don't listen to anyone that hasn't. Don't listen to anyone that hasn't experienced the results you're trying to achieve.
Wow.
That's how I live. I don't listen to nobody until I see the results.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care what degree you have. Don't care, like, you say PT, whatever. Don't be a trainer that needs a trainer, bro. Like, look like the trainer, bro.
Wow.
Don't be a PT that needs a PT. Like, for real.
Be that person.
Yeah, so I'm like, yeah, if any advice, like, don't listen to anyone that hasn't experienced the results that you're trying to achieve. Wow. Or that you have achieved.
Beautiful. I love that piece of advice.
Sweet, bro.
In terms of, what's coming up in your life and how things are going, what's next for you?
GC, man, on March 11th, going to the Gold Coast. There's a competition over there on March 29th. Going to do a couple of podcasts over there. Do some coaching, do some training. Obviously, I'll see how it goes, but I'm looking to go to the islands, the Samoa.
Nice.
Help our people over there. Hopefully catch up with David Tour and the likes, and help him as well, with whatever he needs, like health-wise, like get him to his best, even at whatever age he is. But yeah, man, just like just helping our people, bro. Like, I'm all about my people, my Polynesian people, and obviously I'll help everyone. But my heart's with my Polynesian people and my people from the south side. So
love that.
I will be full-time at Magnitude Performance when I come back. So if you want to come check out Magnitude Performance in Mangere, 780 Tidal Road, come for a free assessment, consultation, and then see from there what you guys want to do.
And if anyone's wanting to follow your journey, bro, where can they find you?
Obviously, Instagram. I have 3 accounts. I have DC Cordtz, DC_Cordtz. I have the plant-based Polynesian page as well for all things whole food plant-based and Polynesian. And then I also have cross movement for those faith-based people as well.
Love that.
Yeah.
I'll definitely drop everything in the description below as well. So all the accounts, just let me know. I'll chuck them all in there.
Thanks, bro.
But other than that, bro, yeah, this brings us to the end of this episode. Still more to come.
Oh, yeah.
I still appreciate the value that you've dropped here, bro.
Thank
Definitely
you,
is a grateful insight for not just myself, but the people that's out there as well. Just living a better lifestyle.
For real, man. Yeah.
And
thank you so much. Appreciate it. God bless, bro.
Other than that, yeah, we are signing off. See ya.